This next demo is one of my favorite things to do. It's called using position sketch. So there's a position sketch down here, and what you want to do is create an axis system on a part to sketch. So I'm going to use position sketch, and you notice that this is pink because it's allowing me to select edges to position my sketch. So if it's not on, it's because this box right here is not on. You got to push that to enable the smart position or not enable it. So if I click on it, that goes off and it won't let me click on anything other than a face. So if I want to establish a certain position, I can use this by clicking on it. It's got my face. I just turned it off to turn this back on again. So I want that pink. So if it's pink, you click here and then you can click on the line. Again, you want to make sure it says edge and not face when you select on this. So I select on that edge and I'm going to select on this edge right here. So it uses those two edges to establish a local axis or a position axis on the corner of this part. Horizontal is going in the direction of the X. V is going in the opposite direction of Y. I want V to go in the same direction as Y. So in this pop-up window, you simply reverse your H or V to get it to line up with your X and Y axis. In this example, I'll select reverse V. Now H is going along the X and V is going along the Y. I can select OK. Slide this down and I'm going to go to sketch and I'm going to create a rectangle. And this time I'm going to work on the axis because this is not the absolute axis, this is the position axis, which is nice because it lets me just put it right exactly on that same corner and it's linked to the axis so that it'll always move with the part. So in this case I do want it to be linked to the axis. I'm just going to make this the same size by clicking using the coordinates and snap so that it gets right on that same grid. Now the reason why this line and this line are green is because it's linked to the X, Y, or H and V axis system, that position axis. These still need constraints. For this example, I'm just going to go right to auto constrain and I'm going to create a box around that whole thing, the whole box rectangle I just created. As you simply say OK, and it'll just add the missing dimensions for me, or I should call it constraints. Remember, to make this thing clean, we want to have this. I got the actual part. I got to be careful not to do that. I want to try and grab that dimension and move it off a ½ inch off the part. And we'll move this a ½ inch off the part because we are design tech and we make things nice and pretty for the shop or whoever else is using this parts. We want to make it easy for me and you and anybody else that's going to open up this model. Make it easy for everyone to read the numbers. Once I've got that established, I can use the exit application to get out of the sketcher. Again, because I know under analysis that my sketch analysis is a closed profile with a constrained, fully constrained profile. So I can go back to standard and exit out of the application. I can now create a pad and there's an up arrow and it's going up in 1 inch increments. As you can see, I'm gonna go back down. Maybe I want to go in ½ inch increments. What I can do is right click in the white area, change my step. And I only have the one to use, so you can make a whole bunch. I'm gonna create a new one that creates a ½ inch increment. So I get this little pop-up window in the bottom right corner. It highlights blue, we'll change that to a ½ inch. Now when I select the up arrow, it grows in ½ inch increments. I'm gonna go 3½ inches and we'll call it good. And that is how you create a pad using a position axis. That position axis is located to the part. If I do anything to the part, this pad will always follow that at that corner.